Open! So I said, have a drunk pajama party in my house, but yet you switch locations at the last minute. Bastards. Let's see if this is done. Ow! Stupid man. Stupid man. Get out, get out. Oh, yes. This is so worth coming home to. Oh, man. What, are you still watching me? Oh, man. Let me tell you. Some PJ party, though. Oh, wait till you see this. Wait till you see this. Look at this. 7 hours. And look what came out of it. Fresh, good-smelling, caffeinated, baked New Yorker goodness. Ah, you have to be drunk not to be in love with it.
Bottle, why are you wearing that top hat? Oh, it's a special occasion, Dada. That's a weird way to announce this. Never mind. All the boop boops have led to this moment. Big deal. Big deal. Big deal. Can you guys see what this is? It's very significant to me. Hi, book. I'm your mom. Wow. Couldn't have done it without you. Do you like the going with your gut part? This is also my handwriting. I was really insistent upon that for some reason. That's right, guys. So my Drunk Kitchen has finally become a book, a real book that's gonna have a hardcover, and it's gonna be like 200 something pages, and it's gonna have glossy photos and all the words and all my thoughts and feelings, and it's gonna be available in stores in human real life, and it's amazing and it's wonderful, and I can't believe it's happening. Oh, just kidding. It's me. Look at all the pictures and the letters and the words and the thoughts and feelings just begging to be heard. It's a book.
Alright, Hannah, we're going to look at the book in a second. Relax. What's going on, you guys? You're watching the Thrift Store Rundown. Normally, we bring Hollywood home on a budget, but today we're gonna go a different avenue and bring YouTube home on a budget. Normally, whenever I see YouTube-related books at the thrift store, I feel compelled to buy them. Not necessarily to give them a shout-out, but to give a shout-out to their respective audiences, so that they know what they're bargaining for. In this case, quite literally, because I got this for a good bargain. This is My Drunk Kitchen, facing the judgment of the Thrift Store Rundown today. Author is the curator, host, and creator of the channel of the same name, Hannah Hart. Was forward by fellow YouTuber, one half of the Vlog Brothers, and co-founder of VidCon and YT best-selling author, Paper Towns and Falling Our Stars, John Green. Retail price is $22.99, and it's from It Books, a division of HarperCollins Publishers. Before we get into the food, let me tell you what really sealed the deal for me. What is My Drunk Kitchen really about? Hannah asked her Tumblr followers, who came up with some great responses. Pippin Miller, Best of Thorn, The Frozen City, Weirdo in Austin, Thoughts to Constellations, and Lucy H675309. The timeline breaks down like this. In March 2011, she was lonely and got really drunk in New York and put it on the internet and made a cooking show out of it. The next year, she moved to LA to pursue a career in entertainment. The year following, her roommate, along with Hannah, launched a campaign to raise over $200,000 and travel across the country doing charity work, culminating in over 100,000 pounds of food being redistributed and over 94,000 people fed. And the year following that one, she published her first book, which is this, My Drunk Kitchen, a guide to eating, drinking, and going with your gut. Follow your heart by trusting your gut. That's the message of this book. If you can figure out how that happened, let me know. For now, I am just grateful that so many people around me allowed this to happen. So, thank you. Those two words, although small, carry a big wallop of an impact. when it comes to the YouTube community. It is absolutely paramount that more YouTubers, like Hannah, recognize that when it's mostly just a one-man show that they're performing in front of the camera and behind it with filming and editing and music selections and all that the audience be recognized for their support along the way, no matter how weird the content may be. Hannah knows that, and Hannah understands that so well, and I commend her for that. Now, I know you're here to kitchen as much as Hannah is here in this book to kitchen, so let me pick out a few highlights for you. Tiny sandwiches. There is a life lesson to be learned in each and every recipe that Hannah provides. No, literally, there is an actual life lesson in words for every recipe, and the vast majority of them are practical and philosophical. And with each recipe, there's often a correlating quote from such notable figures in history like Tina Turner and Leonardo da Vinci and Ralph Wiggum of The Simpsons and Craig Ferguson, and even a few quotes from Hannah herself. Plus, her YouTube community. So what else do we have in here? Saltine nachos. This is a fairly practical recipe for when you're drunk cooking. There's also a few tips in here on how to drunk cook safely. One of which that stands out for me is that you must never use a sharp knife when you're quote-unquote drunk cooking. Butter knife only. It can do a lot for you. If this book didn't pass my test, I would take a butter knife to this. But so far so good. Here is the pizza cake. Every recipe, by the way, also comes with an accompanying cocktail or other form of liqueur or spirit of Hannah's choice or your choice. This book is open to customization, by the way. Hannah would want you to do so. Ingredients for the pizza cake: 4 or 5 or 10 or whatever kind of number of your favorite kinds of pizza. Bake those pizzas, layer those pizzas, slice and serve those pizzas like cake. Accept applause for your ingenuity. Careful, there might be some tears shed. Because sometimes you really can't have it all. I might need to assemble that because today is my birthday, and I can think of no greater treat better than a homemade pizza cake made the Hannah Hart way. And I'm not even a Hartosexual, technically, which is the name of her fan base. But I might be once I'm done with this book. By the way, I read the whole thing. It's really nice. Here's one about a pizzadilla. That's right, a quesadilla and a pizza. It's a marriage of the best of both worlds. Cocktail, beer, cold beer. My family would be shouting amen if they were in here right now. Ingredients: tortillas, marinara sauce, cheese, and tissues. For everyone who starts to cry tears of joy when you bring this out to serve. One final standout recipe for me is Tia I Miss You. Morning without you is a dwindled dawn, says Emily Dickinson. That really does not represent how I feel about Hannah. She is indeed a lesbian. By the way, you will hear a lot about her first love in the beginning of the chapter. So this is love. There are 4 chapters in here that divided into relationships like So This Is Love, family traditions, kitchen basics, the starting recipes, the first chapter in here, and adult lessons. That's where you don't want to cope with being an adult just by writing and reading and crying. You want something to snack on. So adult lessons is a pretty good chapter to focus on. But my favorite chapter is So This Is Love, because of stuff like this. It's tiramisu, the Hannah Hart way. Cocktail, one from the islands. Ingredients: 1 ladyfingers, hey girl, hey Hannah, white cake mix, instant coffee powder, cream, coffee liqueur, not from the islands, sugar, cocoa powder, and mascarpone cheese. The classic ingredients of tiramisu made the broken-hearted way. Did you hear me? The broken-hearted way. Beware of puns. And beware of pictures in here by Robin Romer, photographer for the book. But Hannah Hart is broken-hearted no more, and I don't think has ever been broken-hearted since she began her YouTube channel. She's now engaged to a lovely young woman, so kudos to you too. She is indeed a lesbian, and she shares part of her coming out story in this book, and encourages you to do the same by coming out in the gayest way possible. It's done in stages, not just on stages like musicals, by coming out to yourself first, to your friends and family next, then your co-workers, who will very quickly find out who had a crush on you all this time, and then coming out to every person, every time, in every conversation, and then coming out to God. Don't worry, He knew all along. If only we were in June and this was Pride Month. The recipe for this is rainbow cake, served with Skittles vodka. Good luck making the rainbow cake, but as far as the Skittles vodka is concerned, that is another example of irreverent genius. This book is 25% irreverent, 25% practical, 25% hilarious, and 25% philosophical. Which all in all, I think, makes for a 100% gold medal conversation party starter. Thanks for bearing with me, and thanks for reading these thoughts and words. The acknowledgements just keep on coming, especially for the Hartosexuals. I would like to recognize every Hartosexual and thank them for their excellent taste in comedy and charity. Special shout out to my Melbourne, LA, Vancouver, and Portland peeps for their continued volunteer efforts. It is so refreshing, as long as you have a pair of teeth to go with this as well, to know that a YouTuber recognizes his or her audience. By the way, she was also featured on television. She had her own show on the Food Network. And she is a Streamy Award winner too. Follow your heart by trusting your gut. There's a lot of praise in the back of this book from Neil Gaiman, New York Times bestselling author of The Ocean at the End of the Lane, founder and CEO of Nerdist Industries, Chris Hardwick, who, by the way, if you didn't know, was also the co-host of the PBS television adaptation of Wired Science, which was awesome. Hannah's writing is like cold, leftover fried rice for breakfast. Unusual, cultural, and overall, allow me to fill in the blank, really fucking good. Take the profanity in this book with a grain of salt and a pint of your favorite rosé. This quote comes to us from Grace Helbig, friend of Hannah Hart, creator of Grace's Guide, the book, and It's Grace, the YouTube channel. We talked about her before. We have a book, Grace and Style. And another quote from another YouTuber, the other half of the Vlog Brothers, Hank Green, co-host of SciShow on YouTube. Maybe cooking isn't about creating culinarily perfect flavor art. Maybe cooking is just part of living a life that you enjoy that makes the world suck less. I'm not saying Hannah's food isn't good, but her ideas are better. Better. And a simple thumbs up from Maggie, the author's teenage sister. Hannah definitely has her heart and most of her brain cells in the right place. All in all, this is a 5 out of 5 top drawer, top kitchen drawer amalgamation of heart and soul you will simply devour. Okay, that pun was in bad taste. And so was that one. I don't know why you're digesting all of these puns. Yeah, I need to work on them because they just keep on coming. I have one question for you, Hannah. How long did it take for you to write this piece of irreverent genius?
I've actually been writing this book for years. I've been writing this book since like November 2011. Actually, before that, I was still living in New York, so probably fall 2011. I've been writing this book for 2 years. It's arguably the longest standing project I've ever had, besides my personal growth. So that's like 27 years.
Sounds like you had a fun time, Hannah, and you still are. If you fancy your cooking with comedy, then not only do I suggest that you go check out her channel, which will be linked in the description as my way of congratulating her, I'm also suggesting that you check out this fabulous book.
You can buy the book there. 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 If you buy it now, it's cheaper than when it comes out in stores. It's like $22 in stores because it's a hardcover, like truly just beautiful work of art that I tried so hard on. But point being, you can buy the book at any of these places.
Or you could buy it at the thrift store, which is what I did, for $3.49 and for 25% off. because we're the Thrift Store Rundown and we bring YouTube home on a budget. That's how we roll. And for the record, nobody was drunk and no muffins or New York style bagels were consumed at the same time during the filming of this video. It was all improv. So as my studio award, Hannah, you owe me one. Thanks for joining us.
And thank you for making it possible. Possible. Making it possible. Possible. That's a plate.